What's going on, guys? Eric H here, back with another episode of What's in the Box. Today I have a special guest along with one of my favorite shoes that came out in 2019. I was anticipating these for probably the longest time. I know they were going to come out in October. They finally released them end of December, so almost 2020. If you guys couldn't tell by the sign behind me, we're going to be introducing one of my favorite people to collab with, and that's going to be...
She said I got a drinking problem.
So I brought you here today for the 9th installment of What's in the Box. This is none other than...
Frankie Tabar here from Full Size Run, I guess is what we're doing.
I think we're going to do that today.
Okay. So the dunks, huh?
Yeah, well, what's your first impression on them?
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about them. You've asked me before. I don't know if I like them. I don't know if I love them. It's a weird shoe, and I've never been an SB guy. I think that's what it is for me. But I'm a big off-white guy. It's hard.
Is it the hiking laces that do it for you?
It's hiking laces that won't do it for me, actually. I normally do like it. Like, we're talking like the Vapors, and
yeah.
I have all those, and I love them. I love that crazy string to it, but I think it's the color that messes me up. And I'm sure everyone could say that. And I've seen a lot of people take them out, and then to me, it's not the same. It's like, why, if you're going to do that, why take them out? This pair is the only one that I would kind of probably lean towards, only because it reminds me of like a Heineken colorway.
Okay.
Which is like weird, but then I think of like Heineken SBs and SB at the same time, so it's kind of cool. I kind of like it on this shoe, but like I said, I've never been an SB guy, so I love the stories behind SBs, but I never even owned many of them. I didn't grow up skateboarding, and I feel like it was a skateboarding shoe, so it just wasn't for me.
Yeah, I always had like the regular SB, so I always feel kind of obligated whenever like an SB collab comes out now.
Right.
If I have the money, I'm going to go spend it to get it, because I feel like some of the colorways they do are like absolutely nuts on them.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you. The green colorway does it perfectly, because I think it's the only colorway that genuinely matches the hiking laces.
Right.
I feel like the red and gray don't match it, and the Michigan colorway, blue and yellow, it looks god awful with that. I wish they did like a different color for the hiking for each color.
Yeah, they should have did a different color, like they did with these ones. Like this one's awesome, and it's crazy colors. Don't get me wrong, with the green, with the blue, and the pink. It's very like retro looking, and it looks good. Same thing with this. They use the black.
The
right, and I mean you could kind of and another one is like the green with that blue. I'm not a fan of it. I don't know why. It's not for me, but I'm a fan of crazy colors, especially when you're doing like 80s colors or something like that, or even like the Bapestas. You know how like Bapes is kind of like almost a similar style of a shoe to this, and they get crazy with the colors, and it looks awesome. But for some reason, it's just maybe it's just a ton of bright colors, maybe it's a ton of dark colors, and color and like neon color kind of don't maybe do it for me. I do love the white zip tie though.
Yeah, they actually did change it up this time. They did the white zip tie versus the orange, and I know on the track shoes they do like the green. What is it, like felt? Kinda?
Yeah, it's like felt. That one.
Yeah. They do like a completely different zip tie, and then I like the white ones as well. This is actually.
You see, it's got that bright red.
Yeah.
Oh, and then a lot of the black shoes have the blue. I think the Desert Horse has the blue in them too.
It does, yeah. I think the newer ones, the 10 plus the MCAs, I think have the red, orange colored.
There's some other ones with the red too. He just kind of changes it up,
I respect it. I think the Air Force Ones and 97s and Air Max 1s probably are the only ones that have the blue ones. I'm thinking about it.
No. Air Jordan 1 Euro.
Yep.
Has the blue one too. Close though. You tried.
I tried. Do you think Virgil didn't do enough on this shoe? Or do you think he could have done more with what he was given? Because he was given a Dunk, one of the most iconic Nike shoes. Like, there was a craze for it. There was a craze for it in 2000s.
I think there's still a craze for it. I think it's more of like a culted craze now. I feel like SB guys are a weird sneakerhead, because it's always the SB guys that are diehard. It's like, oh, if you don't skate, you can't wear these kind of, and they're like the bullies of the group. I've seen all the SB collectors posting up on like Instagram and stuff when these shoes were announced that they were official and it was going to come into play, and it's like, oh, you guys never owned a pair of SBs and now you're gonna want one and blah, blah, blah. I've never been an SB guy, and I feel like I fit that category. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think what's missing behind it is a story. That's what makes me, when I fall in love with an SB, it's gotta be for the story behind it. Like, I forget the name of those ones that I had bought, those that I've told you the story 100 times, the ones with the Street Fighter. I forget what they're called, but it's kind of like a karate material. It might even be called Street Fighter or something like that. It's got like a karate material on it, like made out of like the cloth that they would use. And it's got a ton of little things, like the belts that they would use. There's a ton of little things on it, and I love the story behind it. Same thing with the Freddy. And I know that's an extremely expensive pair, but if that pair was $100, it'd still be just as cool. Any of the SBs really that have a cool story behind it make me Love it.
Even the Jeff Staple pigeons.
Right.
Those do numbers because of
Right.
the story behind it. They sell out instantly. People go nuts for them
Right.
because
Of Staple's story. This, on the other hand, I feel like there's no story behind it. I feel like it's just, hey, you guys like SBs? I'm Virgil. I'm Off-White. Here you go. So, and I can't even compare a lot of it to another SB. Like, I know I could create, when we did the MCAs, I think that was our last with the box. I can compare it to a normal Air Force because I've had a ton of pairs.
Yeah.
You know, I can compare the quality of leather and the differences in the shoe, but that's why when you asked me, I was like, I don't know what's different about it. I don't know what's cool about it because I'm not an SB guy, so I don't know if I can even put my 2 cents in. Is there more he could have done? I think it looks good. I don't mind the look of it.
it looks clean.
It does. It looks clean. I just wish he did different colorways. That's, I guess, the only thing that doesn't stand out to me.
I feel like he kind of pushed more college colorways. You saw how the UNCs do because each colorway represents.
Oh yeah,
school.
right. Of course,
there's
yeah.
Michigan, there's Ohio, and then if you want to say this one represents.
Okay, so
Michigan
that's kind of
State.
cool. That's a little bit of a story to it too.
'Cause I know he actually called the blue and yellow colorway the Michigan colorway.
Oh, he did. Okay, the Michigan colorway is cool too. I like it without the kid. Yeah, came in the store and he had the what is this called? The hiking.
They're like actual hiking laces, I guess. that
Okay,
people use.
so the hiking lace, so we'll call it that if that's what it's called. He didn't have them in, and it looked good without it.
Yeah,
Then it's taken away from the shoe,
exactly.
and that's what's weird.
And the one thing with Off-Whites that a lot of the reasons they blew up so fast and so quickly was a lot of the shoes were based off deconstructed looks, and I feel like this is the only Off-White Nike shoe he's released where it lacks that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. There's nothing deconstructed. There's no swoosh kind of messed up. The only thing he did, you're right. He did a minimal. He just did the on the tongue. And if anything, he added to it.
Really wasn't much where I was like, he took it apart and then put it back together like he does with the Air Jordan 1s, the Hyper Dunks, the Air Forces.
Yeah, even taking the box inside out and all that kind of stuff. And the box is cool. Don't get me wrong, the box is really cool.
I love the box. It's different.
The box is cool.
With the holes and all that. Yeah, I feel like if he deconstructed the swoosh, maybe just changed some sort of aspect to it.
There's more he definitely could have played with. Definitely.
I do like the leather tongue. That was something that stuck out to me.
That is cool. The leather tongue is cool.
I don't know how many SBs do. I know some of them do the suede tongue.
I've seen that, yep.
Yeah, but I feel like this one was a lot better, in my opinion, with that. It makes it a little bit more expensive. But this pair was $70 more than a regular SB retail. They're $170. Usually SBs are $100.
I didn't even know retail. Is that crazy? Because I didn't.
Really?
I didn't. Like I said, I didn't have a craze for them, so I didn't really get into it.
It would have been cool to see. I mean, obviously, wouldn't do it, but I would have liked maybe if he did the Vapor Street, how it has that wire around it. Maybe not to the extent of the Vapor Street, but just something to make it different, or
even a part of it, yeah.
Like if the Zoom Fly, I know there's the Air Force One, and it's like a GR Air Force One, really easy to get. It's like a teal pair, but there's a clear aspect to it.
I was just thinking that too. Something like even a square over here or something. But then again, I feel like that's also just kind of throwing stuff at it to make it look good. I feel like you have to dabble in the sneaker world.
It feels more like an SB than an Off-White, which is hard to say for all those other collaborations.
Right.
Still, I think it's just a clean shoe at that point. So I mean, that's personally why I copped it, was because I'm not gonna lie and say I copped it because I love SBs, because I do like SBs, but it was an Off-White SB, which is gonna be iconic in a couple of years. Because Off-White continues to kill the game, and maybe they're pushing out a little bit more shoes than usual.
Right.
But I think the Dunks kind of resurrected that, because I know resale on them is crazy now.
You know what I think would be cool?
Let's hear it.
Now, you know how the Jordan 1s, they have the top, all that's disconnected, and it's unstitched, so it kind of, some people let them hang and they look like, the wings they call it. If they did that with something right here maybe, and then also de-stitched and then restitched, like the Air Force One.
Yeah.
Because let's face it does look like an Air Force One, as it always will.
Yeah.
How he just kind of moved it over a little bit, but you still seen the outline of where it was. If
Yeah.
he just did that and moved the swoosh over a little bit, and maybe de-stitched this, but kind of stitched it here so it doesn't open up the toe box crazy, and let that flap, even like how the Off-White ones have that little spot up top that the laces go through, but no one ever puts it through. There's up top, and then there's the bottom one on the toe box, or closer to the toe box. If he did that with something like that here, I think that would have been it.
Yeah.
I think that would have been more of that Off-White kind of tinge to it.
Yeah, and you could even argue when skateboarders they come in here with you see skateboarders, and I always think they have the most beat up kicks. So giving something like that where it's deconstructed like that, I feel like it adds to that. They wear their shoes till there's a million holes in them.
Right.
And obviously he's not going to make a shoe with a hole in it.
Right.
But having parts of it coming off would definitely make it.
I agree. Something of that nature I think would have been a lot.
But where does this rank in your 2019 shoes? Like, is this a top 5, a top 10, or does it not even make the cut?
It doesn't make the cut for me. And there's a lot of shoes that I've bought this year that don't even make the cut. The red pair's okay. I haven't had one in person yet to see it. I don't think it's going to change anything. I mean, some of the shoes that I see in person, I'm like, wow. Like,
I feel like that's what a lot of the off-white shoes are.
Yeah.
Miss.
Right.
And I feel like, I mean, personally, I just bought this, like I said, because it's an off-white shoe. I want a piece of history because is he ever going to make another
Dunk.
off-white dunk? No.
Yeah. You don't know that.
We don't.
I guess we'll find. I mean, they're gaining value, right? What's the market like on them?
4 or 5. But
Okay.
I think next year we're going to be looking at like a market of like 8 to 10. It's such an iconic shoe. And I mean, maybe if he does make another colorway, obviously market usually goes up for like an OG pair like that.
Right. So it'd be better if he did. I wish he used kind of more, and I hate to say it, even though it is supposed to be like, I wish he did more deconstructed in it, and then I wish he did more like colorways.
Do you remember the ones that he originally was going to do? He did a UNC colorway, and he did like the orange purple kind of pair. But
Yes.
I would have liked to see something like that. 'Cause
That would have been sweet.
He actually did like spray paint, but there was like little blotches of different colors throughout the shoe, which I thought was really cool. That
That is kinda cool.
And I wish he kept that.
Yeah, if he did like a baby blue pair, like a UNC colorway, and then like yellow
Yeah.
on that like hiking lace, I think that would look awesome.
Because originally I think it was going to be the teal, red, and green. I think he swapped the teal out for Michigan.
Be the what's gonna release next?
That'd be really nice if they did.
Yeah,
But I wish he kept with the same structure because I
I'll call
know he
him.
did a little. Yeah.
I'll call him.
Do you can I borrow his number
No.
or no? No.
I think you just love him.
Yeah. I mean, I like him to a point, but at the same time, it really is like I can go to like PacSun, Zoomies, whatever, and get a similar pair. Like I know there's been pairs people have started to post where you could actually see like older SBs with the same exact colorway, and even those
Really?
prices have gone up.
Like I said, Heineken colorway. It's very similar. We should put a little Heineken something back here and we're good.
Now, what if he did that? What if he did that?
That would be cool. I mean, not just the symbol of it. Actually, you know what? No, I think it would tarnish the value, but I think it would be really cool if he did something like that. Because like that was iconic for SBs, and I loved that when they put like the little symbol in the back.
Yep. And then Supreme did it as well.
Right, because that was iconic for them. If he put his little touch, the Off-White X, put that right there,
That would have been nice.
and the shoe would have changed a lot for me. Just because that is SB. That's what screams SB to me.
Oh, I know a lot of the old SBs actually do that.
Yeah.
Even some of the recent ones, because you have Supreme.
Yeah, that's what the shoe missed. It missed it. So, yeah.
You're done?
Yeah.
Done? All right, guys, that's been it for this episode of What's in the Box. Let us know what you guys think of the Off-White Dunks, what you think he could have done better. Taking the jacket?
Forgot my check.
Fair enough.
Good day, sir.
Thank you for coming.
1, 2, 3,